Hello and welcome to Autovista Group's roundup of some of the automotive trends we saw at CES 2021. Now, due to the global pandemic, very much like us, this year's Consumer Electronics Show took place on a virtual platform.
Yes, but what was lacking in physicality was more than made up for in content. Hundreds of conferences, keynotes, and virtual exhibition booths were all held in a digital arena. And this was all so companies could get across the latest technological advancements. And once again, the show saw an increasing automotive presence.
So, let's present you now with some of the key trends that we saw and what their impact may be on the automotive industry going forwards. One of the big automotive talking points at CES 2021 was electromobility. Now, this is not a new subject, it's been present at CES for quite a number of years now. But with this year being what we're terming the year of the EV, as car makers are keen to push new models to market for various reasons, we're starting to see certain trends, and these were highlighted by various presentations and products at the show. It is clear that rather than the vehicle, manufacturers are putting more effort into promoting their platforms. More development is being done around modular architecture that can be scaled to fit a variety of different vehicle types. This will not only help with speeding up manufacturing efficiency, but also can keep costs down, an important point in a world of change and amid a global pandemic which is affecting the market. GM, for example, spent most of its keynote slot on day 2 of the event talking about its Ultium platform, which features a single common cell design with a flat rectangular pouch to store them in. This reduces space between the cells and allows for stacking, giving more energy in a smaller space. This allows the architecture to be used for small, large and truck type vehicles. Ultium is the underpinning of the new electric Hummer. The size of the vehicle allowing more battery packs and therefore more power. Despite its size and weight, the Hummer can achieve a 0 to 60 time of 3 seconds, something that as a passenger in one once, I find quite astounding. Platforms were also the order of the day for Magna. The supplier used its time at the show to champion its recently announced joint venture with LG, which will supply electric powertrains to car makers such as GM, Jaguar Land Rover and Fisker as well. That's important. The venture highlights Magna's approach to platform supply, mainly bringing in multiple partners to concentrate on their areas of expertise, providing a building block approach. The company stated it is in a position as an entrant enabler to offer off-the-shelf architecture and other components, allowing those thinking about coming into the automotive market to do so without the heavy expenditure that is linked to architecture development, hence why Fisker has gone for the platform. With the hype around Volkswagen Group's MEB or the PPE underpinning the Audi e-tron GT, which was also presented at the event, we could soon see consumers choosing the architecture rather than the model itself, dependent upon its technological capabilities. Now, special mention in the field of electromobility must also go to Sono Motors, who unveiled a second prototype Scion with 248 polymer-based photovoltaic cells integrated into the body, providing 25 miles of additional range on top of the 150 miles provided by its EV battery. Now, if your commute is less than 25 miles a day, it means you could end up running the car almost purely on solar power, seriously reducing the total cost of ownership. Hyperion also brought their prototype XP1 hydrogen fuel cell supercar to the event. It features all-wheel drive, a range of over 1,000 miles and a 0 to 60 time of 2.2 seconds. What is clear from this show is that electromobility, electric driving, is no longer the future, it is very much the present.
We've seen some huge announcements in the world of in-car infotainment systems at this year's CES. Without a doubt, one of the biggest displays we saw was Mercedes-Benz MBUX Hyperscreen. This interface stretches over 140 centimetres. That's almost the entire width of the upcoming electric EQS saloon, in which the display will debut. It's made up of 3 separate screens, also behind a curved 3D piece of glass. But more screens don't necessarily mean more distractions. Mercedes equipped the Hyperscreen with a zero-layer interface, so important applications like maps or mobile are offered situationally on top. So with what you need being presented as you need it, driver distractions should see a great reduction. I mean, this alone could really boost the value of the EQS saloon. But for tech fans out there saying, hey, wait a minute, they announced that console before CES, the carmaker did reveal a new feature at the show. The Hyperscreen will be equipped with a location-based feature called Mercedes Travel Knowledge. It evaluates map data alongside its surroundings. All the driver needs to do is say, hey Mercedes, tell me about that building, and the information will pop up and the display will show you everything about the building. It's a really nice feature, but we do have to wonder how much use it's going to get in the long run, especially if the car is seeing the same routes regularly. Now for those who like their screens a little more transparent, Panasonic has the answer. They revealed a new augmented reality heads-up display. Powered by AI, the 4K HUD can show essential information like speed and route guidance, but it can also provide alerts about lane edges, objects in the road, and bridge heights, all with projected 3D graphics. Its optics can even detect pedestrians and other objects through enhanced low light and nighttime view. This can be a huge safety feature, not only keeping a driver focused on the road, but spotting things that they might not have. But for those wanting something in between Mercedes' massive Hyperscreen and Panasonic's helpful HUD, there was another option that caught my eye this year. Currently under development, Perrine Drive is an AI-equipped assistant which can be retrofitted to seemingly any vehicle. Using deep learning, it can recognise and track the movements of pedestrians, cars, bicycles and motorbikes all in real time. Using this algorithm, the unit can then predict the risk of accidents. Now when this happens, the driver is alerted both visually and with audio cues, but the system also keeps an eye on the driver. It can tell when they look away from the road or are falling asleep, all based on face and eye movements. So once again, eye tracking is proving popular among developers, and road safety could really see a boost. But this does all depend on how comfortable drivers feel about being monitored while they're behind the wheel. The only thing is for sure, there was really no taking your eyes off the infotainment offerings at this year's CES.
Now it became apparent during the event that the car is to become an extension of its driver, with car makers and technology companies attempting to make the vehicle a more pleasant experience to drive. Whether this is through apps or onboard systems, what is clear is that the car is no longer simply a tool to get you from A to B. It is actually now a personal device that you can customize to your own style and have it as an extension of your technological self. Take Here Technologies for example. The company announced the introduction of its customizable EV routing platform. Now this aims to get vehicles from point to point while minimizing the number of charging stops and optimizing battery top-up times. It is hoped this will help to reduce or even eliminate range anxiety. But the key feature is the personalization within. While the map takes into account weather, traffic and road geometry, it also can be adjusted to driving styles. So if you have a heavy right foot, it will offer a personal route just for you. It seems that everyone has an app for their vehicle. The aforementioned Sono Motors, for example, presented an app alongside their Scion, which works hand in hand to help lock doors, tell you how much charge is left in the battery, but also to allow you to give other people access to the car for sharing purposes and set how long they can use it. The company founders in their presentation stated that they want to reduce the amount of time a car is sitting inactive, so as many people as possible can use it. GM discussed its Ultify service, which is branded as a more personal EV experience. Whilst the platform allows for regular options of exploring models and buying online, it also gives the consumer the chance to purchase customizable packs which can be sent to the vehicle via over-the-air updates. There are also options for media streaming services, third-party apps, and other personalisation techniques. Other car makers are also exploring the option of allowing consumers to buy additional add-ons for their vehicle beyond the sale, and this could open new profit windows while enhancing the experience of the consumer beyond the showroom.
Now CES wouldn't be complete without some autonomous vehicle news. Mobileye, an Intel company, announced it had integrated LiDAR technology into a silicon chip. A lot of autonomous vehicle developers are trying to shrink their LiDAR units down to fit more sensors into the vehicle. But working with Intel, Mobileye has access to large-scale manufacturing facilities and know-how that some others just don't have access to. So what does this new chip technology mean for Mobileye? Well, effectively, it could steer away from camera-based systems and towards an autonomous sensor suite built in-house. This means it could keep production costs down, providing the market with more affordable autonomous vehicles, potentially by 2025. But a core element of CEO Amon Shashua's speech at CES focused on the importance of delivering a sensing solution that is orders of magnitude more capable than human drivers. Effectively, a driver needs to have complete confidence that the autonomous system can keep them safe and secure. If not, market-wide adoption could be tricky. What if the vehicle is the size of a 2.5-storey house, with the potential to weigh more than 687 tonnes? Well, then you can just go ahead and slap a Caterpillar badge on it. The industrial giant took its mining offerings to CES for the first time this year. Built in-house, CAT's MineStar solution has been designed to make one of the world's most dangerous workplaces safer. The system now drives more than 350 autonomous haulage trucks operating 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, at mining sites on 3 continents. These vehicles follow predetermined routes and commands from on-site staff, and are capable of recognising objects in the road as well as determine potential collision points. While the world of industrial mining couldn't feel any further away from driving on the road, it does provide proof of autonomous concept. As these technologies continue to improve, making previously dangerous work safer, the potential applications for automotive industry at large are enormous. Another dangerous arena autonomous technology is soon to make its debut on is the racetrack. The Indy Autonomous Challenge unveiled its specially designed open-wheel race car at CES this year. Set to take place in October this year, the driverless race will feature 30 teams taking part in 20 laps of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway circuit. These autonomous race cars are expected to reach speeds of up to 200 miles an hour. Each team uses a car built by Delaria and will be developed their own software for the competition. While this is again another example of an extreme autonomous application, it provides manufacturers, component developers and research institutions with an opportunity to develop and stress test parts of their system. It also provides an opportunity for the general public to see autonomous vehicles in action, building trust in the technology as developers race to the finish lines with their mass market versions.
That's it for our virtual coverage of CES 2021. I do hope we can attend the event physically next year, as long as it is safe to do so. Tom, thanks for joining me.
Thank you very much for having me, Phil. A pleasure, as always.
And don't forget to sign up to the Autovista Group Daily Brief and follow us on Twitter and LinkedIn. Details are on the screen now. And also be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Search Autovista Group Daily Brief in YouTube or click on the logo which will be now on screen. For now, thank you for watching.